Well, good evening and welcome to... Hello. Let's try again. Good evening. Welcome to PJNET Live on a Monday night, and I'm glad to bring you just some general updates since it's kind of just us. But the first thing in the way of updates, since it's just us tonight, it won't be just us much longer on Monday night, because next Monday we will have the debut of a new weekly guest each and every Monday night, Casper for Colorado. Now, he is a friend of PJNET, and he has appeared here before, but I saw an email from him today that caught my attention, and he has a very interesting proposition for pro-lifers and pro-choicers alike. It's kind of complicated. Well, it's actually kind of simple. But he is of the opinion that maybe, just maybe, there's some middle ground. And I think that we need to hear more about that. And he's an interesting guy. He ran for United States Congress in a very, very blue district, District Number 1. That's basically Denver, folks, in Colorado. Of course, that did not end well, for him anyway. But he is a courageous guy, and I'm going to start calling him Rocky, because he just does not... Well, he goes down a lot, but he keeps getting back up. He's not a quitter, and you'll find him very interesting. I can't wait. Now, I'll be hearing from him tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to do kind of a dry run. He's already doing some podcast and video vlogs, they call them. And so I think everything will go smoothly, but he's an interesting guy, and he is definitely a servant of the Lord and an ambassador for the kingdom. So that's a good catch for PJNET, and I look forward to next Monday night. Now, tomorrow night is Del Didway. Haven't really, well, we've interacted kind of on social media, but folks, that Del Didway video has done very, very good, that promo video. I hadn't looked at it lately. Last time I looked at it, it was 5,400 views or somewhere along in there. Now, last night, I stayed up until about 3:30 or 4 in the morning and made a promo video for Scott Dawson. Now, Scott Dawson, although we only encountered each other very briefly, just in Montgomery last week on Wednesday, he was one of the people who prayed for our children and for education in the state of Alabama. But as he was leaving, he did take time to tip his hat and acknowledge that the deployment of the PJNET Live gear was he was quite impressed. And I've done a little research on the Scott Dawson Evangelistic Association, and I'm pretty impressed with him too. So we actually are now following each other on Twitter. He sent me some direct messages and says he would... he hopes to call me later this week. I'm off tomorrow and the next day, so who knows where that will go, but I hope you'll make it a matter of prayer. Oh, I forgot. The thing I should have said at the very first. Sunbelt Girl called me last night. She is not here tonight. She may be in absentia for a while. Her brother is... not doing very well, and she has gone up to visit him up north in the state of New Jersey, somewhere up there. She drove to Maryland to meet with another family member who she would join, and they would go the rest of the way together. She does have, her husband Frank was tuning up a laptop computer so that she won't be entirely isolated. But her reason for going up there is her brother is probably, let's just say, past the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. Don't know what the nature of his infirmity is, but it sounds like it is, well, you know how these things go. And I'm proud of her for picking herself up and going up there and getting other family members together with her. And I think actually, aside from the reason she's going up there being kind of depressing, I think it'll be a good chance for her to get out and renew some acquaintances in her own family and just do something a little different. So even though it will, some things will remain undone here, we will miss her while she's out. It wouldn't surprise me if she dropped in from time to time, but anyway, I told her that the ship would be fine in her absence, although we'll be glad to have her back, and she will be missed. But keep Sunbelt Girl in your prayers as she ministers to another family member. I think it's her brother. I don't quote me on that. I'm not good with these kind of details, and I know that's a defect, and I should be more sensitive and more careful to listen for those details. But anyway, now also I did speak with J Steins 3. Now J Steins 3, her computer died, and she has been having one heck of a time getting a replacement together. But she tells me that one is on the way, and she has also got some ideas to do some. She does painting, and she's kind of retired now in the mountains, and she wants to do more painting. But she was talking to me last night about doing some tutorial videos. It's funny because one of the things that I do, and it's rather time consuming, but it's very beneficial in most cases. When you start looking at product selection, and we've been doing a lot of engineering lately, if you go on Amazon, well, they've got everything, but sometimes the details, the technical details and specifications are kind of lacking in that environment. So I just get the model number and then put it on YouTube and start looking at these YouTube videos. And quite frankly, I noticed that some of them just outright stink, okay? The unboxing video, well, by virtue of the fact that it's unboxing, that kind of tells you that the person doesn't have intimate knowledge, product knowledge. They're just getting it, and they'll point out worthless details like, well, notice that the finish on the plastic is brushed and looks and it's nice. Who cares? I mean, what does the thing do? Does it do a job? And they will point out buttons and functions that they will admit right there that they don't know what it does yet. So unboxing videos are not very useful usually in gaining product knowledge. One of the things I have found useful is when they compare two products, this product versus this product. Well, if one of the two products is the one you're interested in, those are the kind you can, now we're talking about somebody who is familiar with both products and can tell you some stuff. Those are kind of useful, but it's very time consuming. But one of the things I've noticed is that the talent that do these videos is extremely amateur. It's ironic. They're talking about videos, and they're holding a camera in one hand and trying to use the other hand to point out the various things. And I thought, you know, for being a videographer, you make crappy videos. Many of them are just amateurs. They're not on-air talents. So they're nervous and they're stumbling all over themselves, and they're really horrible. Folks, they're horrible. Well, J Steins 3 was making similar comments, and so what she's going to do is do some tutorial YouTube videos on painting and technique. You know, I don't know anything about painting, but anyway, I was kind of interested. It was really fun. So hopefully, not only will she get her computer going again when it comes in, but also gearing up for doing some stuff on YouTube. Now, let me go back to Scott Dawson. I made last night, I was up until about 4 a.m. making a promo video, and it turned out pretty darn good. We took about a 7-minute speech, prayer that was a prayer and a speech, and reduced it to under 1 minute and 20 seconds. And I'm very pleased with it. We submitted it last night to YouTube as a campaign advertisement. It was approved within about 14 hours. So it was only approved a few hours ago, about 6 hours ago. And the view count is starting already. It is approaching 200 views. It actually got several organic views before the campaign on YouTube as an advertisement launched. But we're continuing to find how to press the right buttons on YouTube to get the message exposed. So we're making progress. You know, I didn't try to exactly, you know, rev up and overtack my engine today because I was pretty tired after last week. So I decided I would make that video. Now tonight I have to make another video much longer. Joan Landis gave about a 20-minute speech at this event last week, and we want to get that edited, but I don't want to make it into a 1-minute thing. It'll probably wind up being 15 minutes, and that's going to probably take well past midnight tonight. But we'll get that done. There were also about 3 other speakers that we have some pretty good footage of. So in spite of the disappointments and things that were a little bit less than glowing, we do have a lot of good material, and we're going to make use of that which we have. So I can't wait to see what happens when that stuff starts taking loose. And things are going well. Starting to poke around in Facebook a little bit. Never have liked Facebook too much, but you know, a lot of our friends here are also on Facebook, and many of them are willing to interact and engage. Folks, I think we're going to make it. I think that we've already got, I think, 2 very solid guests, and I think we've got a third, and we may have a fourth. But I think that we will get to where this will be a good destination for people to come hang out. And once we kind of get things figured out and everybody's smooth and kind of grooved and smooth and polished up a little bit, that should be about the 1st of May. I think that's when we'll start trying to promote this venue as a destination for people who are like-minded to kind of hang out and enjoy each other. I am by myself tonight without Sunbelt Girl. If Hazards 4, if you could kind of take the helm when we're done here, that would be greatly appreciated. And one of the things that I'm learning with this software we got is just such a blessing. But one of the things I have to learn to do, okay, is get my next thing set up while I am talking on the air, because I produce my own stuff here. So I'm kind of doing that now. I hope it didn't look too obvious. But we've got a lot of work to do. I've actually kind of changed the studio a little bit. I've made the desk a little bigger, a little bit wider. Today, because it just seems like I can't do much to change the proportions, because of we're temporarily kind of set up with this camera on a boom, and I won't go into all that, but the camera, I can't put the camera exactly where I want it, okay, because there's a pole right there. You can't see it, but there's a pole there that kind of obstructs the view, and so you know, we have to make some tweaks. So the desk, I can't change my proportions. One of the things, I like these 2 monitors that are apparently hanging from the ceiling, which they're not. They're only virtual. Okay, they're not real. The only thing you see that's real in this video is me. Okay, everything else is electrons. Okay, virtual. It's digital imagery. No, I am not in a studio with nice lighting above me. There is not a Lake Miccosukee behind me. I'm in a shed. Plywood sitting on a... Well, anyway. But anyway, so I have to have these monitors here, because the field of view of the camera is obviously a rectangle. Well, guess where that rectangle ends? Right there. So if I get kind of talking with my hands like this and they go off the screen, if I didn't have those monitors there, it would simply cut off my arm visually. So I like to keep those there as kind of a, you know, way to obfuscate that reality. Hey, how you like the real-time clock? You know, it even gives it in military time. I wish it didn't. I use military time myself personally. But that's a live clock. It's actually coming right off of my computer and putting it on the screen. So... neat stuff. All right, well, listen, I'm going to sign it off. Really getting excited about all the things that are happening. I know it can seem overwhelming, and I know it's been a long time coming, and everything takes longer than we wish it did. But, folks, every day I see encouraging progress, and I'm just glad that you can be a part of this, and I can be a part of this, because, folks, when this game is over and we're 6 feet under, I hope that they will know that we left some footprints in the sand, and that we moved the needle and left this place a little bit better than we found it.